And ladies and gentlemen, on that note, since we've had a lot of Indian perspective, for the final speaker, we're going to somebody hailing from Dubai, UAE. Of course, he's going to be given 10 minutes on his talk, and then we'll request all the speakers of this session to please join us on the stage for their felicitation. Now, joining us from Dubai is Narayan Murthy B, Chief Executive, Bloom Business Strategies, FZE, a consulting firm which is based in Dubai. The company specializes in providing strategic advice and business solutions to clients across various industries, helping them expand their operations and achieve sustainable growth. So, Mr. Narayan, if you can hear us, can we get that confirmation?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you. Yeah, you're able to hear me?
Yes, we can. So, with that, Mr.
You're
Murthy,
able to see me also? Are you able to see me?
Yes, of course, we can. We can. On the live screen. Sir, so 10 minutes for you, and over to you.
Very good. Nice. Thank you very much. It's very good to be the last speaker on the panel so that my job is made easy. First, I want to thank Mr. Narendra of Incubate Collaborations, who has given me an opportunity to be present in this particular seminar or event of Viksit Bharat. And I also want to thank other panelists who gave wealth of information on micro details about Indian markets, which is very useful. I would like to, being a person who is here for 18 years, an investment banker based in Dubai, and across Middle East I travel, and I also travel to Africa. In addition, I have a back office in Chennai. So I would like to give a perspective, both regional and international perspectives on markets in general. And we are in a very crucial and very interesting times when US president has taken over, and we are going to have a budget also in another couple of days. So basically there will be a lot of action which is going to be seen in markets in India. And US, the throning of Mr. Trump has opened up a couple of vistas, which I would like to touch upon later. But currently, I would like to talk about Viksit Bharat and basically about India. Mr. Narendra told me to talk about more on regulation and of capital markets because I belong to a regulatory framework earlier. Briefly, for 4 years, I worked in SEBI at the nascent stage. So basically, I know the regulatory framework. I worked in SEC also for a while. So regulatory framework as per the SEC chairman, ex-chairman, is both regulation and development of capital markets. So basically capital markets has to develop. And are we developing in the right direction? Yes. Is there any pitfalls there? Yes, there are pitfalls. Otherwise you can't see a SME IPO getting oversubscribed by 400 times and issued a shares at a price which is now quoting in 3 months less than 50%. So basically what happens is there are a lot of pitfalls and a lot of abuses happening in the markets. So regulatory framework has to be beefed up on those areas. Primary market is come to stay. There are a couple of new avenues or vistas which I would like to suggest in primary markets and secondary markets too. And basically what happened is there are 2 issues which were suspended by the SEBI because it has come from SME and some company has raised 44 crores and it has been asked to refund. Recently in January, another company was asked to refund the amount. So basically what happened, there are abuses taking place. And I would like to suggest a couple of things in SME IPOs is that there should be restriction on investors. Retail investors should be barred from participating in SME IPOs. Only institutional investors have to participate because sophisticated investors only will be able to decipher a company, a promoter. Promoter is more important than the project or the proposal. So basically, Indian markets particularly the investors of Indian markets are gullible. If you take US, more than no investor, retail investor participates largely directly in the market. But India is a different story altogether. Retail investors in large participate in the markets. So they should be barred from investing in SME IPOs. Only institutional investors should be allowed to invest in SME IPOs. And recently, certain changes have been adopted by SEBI. One is they recommended that 2-year profitability track record for SME IPOs. They also said that 50% of the promoters offer for sale only can be given. The rest 50% they have to hold back. These are minor changes. I would suggest that Indian investor, as they're gullible, they should be, it is very difficult to educate them in the short run. So basically, they should be kept away from SME IPOs. And there are scope for introducing newer products, particularly on the takeover side. I would suggest SPACs, which has to be introduced and it has to be popularized in large scale in Indian markets, which is very popular in US, which is an avenue, is a fund only to acquire more and more companies. So basically what happens is M&A play. There's a lot of scope in terms of raising resources. There's a lot of scope for making money. There's a lot of scope for synergizing the acquisition in terms of multiple exits. So basically that's one area which I would like to suggest. There's one more newer product which we can think, because as of now, debt market space, we see only rated debts instruments. And why not we introduce junk bonds? And there again, we don't need retail investors there. Just as in US, we can introduce junk bonds so that a lot of money can be mobilized in this space. Only sophisticated investors and institutional investors should be allowed to participate, so that that space where it is critical to evaluate a particular proposal of a junk bond, and there are buffet of opportunities available in US. If we say that large number of issues are available in the junk markets place, some click, some don't click, but a sophisticated institutional investor will be able to evaluate closely on the promoter and then take a call, which should be very beneficial from the investment point of view, and also it will be beneficial for the particular issuer. One more area I want to touch upon is ESG. Many corporates in India, I don't know whether they comply with the ESGs, and SEBI has extended the period for up to 26 for mandatory compliance for ESG. Right now it is only voluntary. This is an area which every investor has to pay attention. Whenever a new issue comes, whether it is complying with ESG, this point has to be raised to the concerned promoters. And basically such type of issues only will stand the test of time in the years to come. Then by and large, crypto is totally away from Indian markets. And President Trump, during his canvassing and campaigning time, as well as presently, he says that US will be the crypto capital of the world. Some of the regulators are totally indifferent to this particular instrument. You'd be surprised, in Dubai, major investments in crypto is done by only Indians. Why the float of capital to Dubai when these people are able to invest in India itself? Yes, it is a speculative instrument. It is having a lot of risk. There is a lot of AML issues also there. That is the job of the regulator to tap these areas and see that this particular instrument is seen the light of the day in India. I would strongly recommend that. Otherwise, what will happen is, if whatever Trump says that he is going to make US as the Trump crypto capital of the world, and if we are lagging behind too much, I think we will not be in the crowd. I think, and if US does it, many of the European nations also will do, and they constitute 70% of the world GDP. And if we are left behind, probably we will. I don't have a structured performer of presentation, and I only would like to say there are a lot of wealth of speakers who spoke on the development of capital market, mutual fund industry growth, and basically the economic growth. And in fact, the last speaker, SBI Mutual Fund, he spoke about how Indian corporates excel in the international markets. I do visualize a scenario where we are definitely growing, but there should be a lot of red signals, red flags are there. It should be addressed. suitably by the regulators so that we will be able to go forward while recommending some risky investments, risky instruments. I would urge sincerely, I should not be mistaken, I should be urged sincerely, all regulatory ambits should be fully covered when these instruments are introduced. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Murthy, for sharing your wisdom and, of course, resonating with the thoughts of the leaders out here. Let's give him a warmer round of applause and thank him on behalf of N-Cube Collaborations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we've had a power-packed plenary session, and of course, we would now want our dignitaries to please join us on stage. We'd like to have the humble opportunity of felicitating all of you. Of course, starting with Mr. Sandeep Parwal, Venkat N. Chulasani, G. Ravindranath, Aditya Gangal, Kamal J. Swani, and Narayan Murthy, of course, who can't join us here, but we'd still like to give him our regards. So please be online just for the felicitation. Along with Dr. Narendra, who's on stage, if we have Ashwini Somana, AVP Institutional Businesses of Bullforce. If Ashwini is around, please do join us. Varun Somaya, Assistant GM, IDBI Bank. If Varun is around, please do join us. And Manan Dave, who's the Associate Account Manager, NSE of Cogenesis. Please do join us. So with that, we'd first request, I believe Ashwini is with us on stage. Ashwini, if you can do us the honor of felicitating our leaders. Starting with, of course, Sunil, if you can as well join us. Let's give a big round of applause to Mr. Venkat N. Chulasani in the frame. Of course, we gave the token of appreciation to Mr. Sandeep as well. Thank you so much, sir. None of them are there in the room. If Dr. Narendra can do us the honor. We have in frame our speaker, Mr. Kamal J. Swani. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, the team joining in, Ankita, if you can as well join in. I think a bigger and a mightier round of applause as we have our leadership with us on stage. And of course, now to Aditya Gangal from SBI Mutual Fund. With that, if I may request all of you to come in one frame together. All of you to come in one frame together. You know, I wish there was a live photograph which could have captured Dr. Narendra's expression in every felicitation. He's very... So, well, with that, let's give them a bigger round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. What a fantastic plenary it's turned out to be. And sitting in Dubai, we'd like to humbly thank Mr. Murthy as well. Thank you for joining us. Well, like they say, Mr. Murthy, come to Dubai. We'll say come to India next time for the conference.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.